Hi everyone, my name is Brett Bader. I'm a sales guide here with Sharp Land Rover in Grand Rapids, and it's our favorite day of the week, ladies and gentlemen. It is Motor Monday. So I wanted to take this Monday just a minute to highlight a really cool engine setup that Land Rover actually just produced. So this is brand new for the 2024 model year. I really wanted to go over it too because we had some just change in nomenclature, right? So here behind me is a 2024 Defender 110 SE. Now, what's really important there is that it's a 2024 Defender 110 SE. Back in 2020 to 2023, the SE trim level meant something entirely different. So for the 24 model year, they've actually put the P500 engine in this vehicle. And so it is a naturally aspirated 5.0 liter V8 making right about 493 horsepower and 450 pound-feet of torque. It'll actually take you 0 to 60 in 5.1 seconds in this vehicle. So that said, that is the second V8 variant that Land Rover offers for this particular vehicle. The other one being the 518 horsepower P525 with the supercharger on it. So this one just being regular, naturally aspirated. Some people might like that just for the increase in projected reliability. You know, you're not going to have worry about the supercharger or the boost or anything. The engine's just not working quite as hard to make that horsepower number. So that said, still going to be really rowdy for us, still going to be aggressive. I think it'll be a really nice engine. I'm really curious to see what this thing brings. So let's check it out together. As some of you might know, all of the Land Rovers are actually built a la carte from the factory. And really what I mean by that is we start with our trim level and we have a lot of control over what we actually put on these vehicles. And so what we were going for with this unit in particular was more of your utilitarian kind of V8 and really just your what can be built to be an off-road unit. So, you know, typically on something like this, you're going to see like a gloss black body panel all the way down, maybe some street tires, maybe some 2020 or 22s, that kind of thing. So, but here we actually did the 20-inch tires with the all-terrain on there. We found that those are wearing a lot better, and it's also going to be a lot better for your off-roading, your inclement weather, and those sorts of applications. From here, our actual plastic body panel on the bottom is going to do effectively the same thing, where it's going to take those stone chips a lot better, just generally be able to get dirtier and clean better. And what that does too is it actually matches really well with a lot of the aftermarket accessories that you can put on this vehicle. Things like your mud flaps, your wheel arches, and those sorts of things that kind of give it that aggressive off-road look, feel, and capability. And then moving around to the back of the car too, something that I always like to point out on these V8 engines, you actually do get this really cool quad exhaust tip setup, and so it makes the car just get that, you know, another level of little aggressive aesthetic from that standpoint as well. Put the spare wheel cover on there too, just to kind of cap everything off, and she is purpose built and ready to go. Let's drive it. We're driving along here. We're going to our classic test spot. First impressions, I mean, I'm actually really liking this engine. You know, it's basically just a, you know, I would say a touch more power, but it's really about 100 horsepower higher than your typical, the P400 that they have actually. And you're going to find that in both the 110S with the P400, and that's the big distinction there, because the new 110S in 2024 with the P400 is what used to be called the SE for the previous generations, right? And so that's part of the reason I wanted to highlight this vehicle, because that nomenclature change is just a little bit confusing, because this is entirely different than those cars, again, being the P500 110 SE, right? And so that said, you know, like I said, I'm really enjoying it. You know, it's just there's a little bit more power off the line that way. And again, you know, it feels like I'm driving in a V8. You know, it's a workhorse vehicle, but at the same time, it's not. You know, it's not too aggressive. We're still smooth, quiet, comfortable. You know, feels like you're kind of floating down the road. And that just generally is one of the biggest selling points to this vehicle. You know, it looks like it's going to be, you know, loud and rugged and all this other stuff. And it's just not. You know, it's a highway cruiser. I would drive this car to Florida. It's really nice. Alright, so something that I was actually curious on with this vehicle too was all the different drive programs that they were going to offer. So, you know, we hit our little drive program selector button right down here, and then we turn this little dial. The vehicle still has all of them actually, so if I want to jump into the eco mode, I totally can. We still have our dynamic program, which is really nice that way. But just look at all these other Defenders, you guys. I mean, we're talking the deep ruts, the sand for Silver Lake sand dunes, proper rock crawling, wade sensing that way too, grass, gravel, snow, and then we've also got our auto and then our configurable. You can actually make your own drive program for your off-road applications. It's super, super cool. So kind of in preparation, we're just about there. We're gonna hit the dynamic mode right here. It's gonna kind of stiffen up the suspension for us a little bit, change the tuning that way, tighten up my steering as well. And then, you know, in combination with that, we can also pop it in the true sport mode right here as well. And so putting those two together, we're getting the maximal power out the vehicle. You know, you can feel we're kind of bouncing a little bit because, like I said, we stiffened the suspension up from comfort. And as a general statement, we're ready to rock as of right now. It's keeping my RPMs higher. It's going to lean the shifts out a little longer. We're really going to feel all 493 horsepower of this particular vehicle. So as we kind of approach our little spot here, again, you know, as we always say on Motor Monday, yes, we are testing these vehicles. However, you know, we're staying within the legal speed limit, only doing it in safe places that way. And, you know, again, testing without being a little too aggressive. At the end of the day, these are all available vehicles on our lot, actually. And we just want to make sure, you know, that we're kind of being careful that way. Do just a little bit of a pull here. We'll slow her down just a touch. And then we're really gonna rock. Here we go. Yeah, so it'll still scoop. Yeah, see, there we go. Ends up leading all the way out to about 6,000 right there, and it'll go. I mean, we felt that, you know. What's really interesting, this engine, again, 0 to 60 is right about 5.1. You're only about 0.2 of a second off the actual P525, you know, because again, that's only giving you, you call it right about, again, 18 more horsepower versus this unit, maybe 30, right about there. So that said, I'm not feeling just too much of a difference between these two, you know. So, but yeah, it'll go. You know, kind of impressions from this engine. Again, with this particular Motor Monday and with this particular vehicle, I really didn't think that this was going to be focused towards speed, you know, or 0 to 60 times or that kind of thing, because it's not. You know, at the end of the day, Defender does have a trim level for that. You know, your proper just V8 or the Carpathian edition, and they're gonna have that super rowdy, you know, V8 engine. This is more of a workhorse V8, and it's more for doing the kind of off-road things that Defender is designed to do. You know, I think it'll really help with those off-road situations. Just giving you all the torque as you're kind of, you know, tooling around in the backcountry, in the bush, and over Silver Lake sand dunes, and, you know, even in the winter, you know, pulling people out of the ditch, that kind of thing. I think it'll be really nice for that. And overall, you know, I've really enjoyed it. You know, it just kind of kicks it up just a notch from that P400. And overall, ends up being a really nice engine setup and a really nice vehicle. You know, again, the big appeal here, smooth, quiet, comfortable, even though it is that capable and it is that rugged. Well, this is Motor Monday. My name's Brett Bader, again, with Sharp Land Rover. Come see us. Come see the Defender. We've got vehicles. We've got allocations. We'll get you the vehicle. Would love to see you here. Thank you.